Good evening, everybody. It's Benjamin Kinichi here, Chairperson of Zimbabwe Immigration Federation, and I would like to welcome you all to our channel. So I would like to introduce ZIF to you. ZIF is Zimbabwe Immigration Federation, which is an organization that was registered and incorporated by 3 directors. One of the directors is the chairperson of the board of directors, which is Mr. Vindren Magadzire. For those that would have seen our court papers and our court judgments and our court orders, you would have seen that name, Vindren Magadzire. He's the man that signs our court papers, our founding affidavits, and anything else that needs to be signed, the authority that needs to be signed for the court cases or for the litigation purposes. That's our chairperson there. And then we've got Director Gift Karimireni, who is the finance director, is the man that ensures that ZIF has adequate funds to finance the court or litigation and the court action. And then we've got also Director Grema Mugota, who is our operations director. She's responsible for ensuring that the organization is adhering to the principles upon which it was established, and also that it's achieving its set goals and objectives. And then there is myself, who is the chairperson of ZIF, the committee, and I also operationalize the constitution and the articles of association of Zimbabwe Immigration Federation with my team. And I will introduce my team in the next video, because I just want this one to be as short as possible, just to introducing you to this channel. So ZIF was established in June 2022. And the reason why this organization was established was because the ZEP permits were terminated, or the exemptions were withdrawn. The exemptions for the ZEP permit were withdrawn, or the ZEP permit was terminated, whichever way we want to look at it. And there was no other solution at the time to defend the rights that would have accumulated for the ZEP holders besides going to the courts, which now I think everybody, including those that criticized us at the time, they agree with us that without court action, we wouldn't be where we are now as ZEP holders. And one of the things that I need you to know is that from the committee to the directors, ZIF is made up of ZEP holders only. It was an organization that was established by ZEP holders, and it's run by ZEP holders, and it's owned by ZEP holders as well. So all the members of ZIF are ZEP holders. So it's very important to know, if you're a ZEP holder, then you need to know also that this is your organization. And our core operations are litigation. We fight for the rights of the ZEP holders. We believe that there's quite a number of rights that were accumulated by ZEP holders according to the Bill of Rights, and the termination of the exemptions or the withdrawal of the exemptions also the way the withdrawal of the exemptions was done is also against the Constitution or the Bill of Rights in the Republic of South Africa, which is why ZIF is taking this litigation course to ensure that those rights are restored. And what we believe in as ZIF is a permanent solution to the ZEP crisis. We know that there's organizations that represent migrant settlers in South Africa that tried also to negotiate with the minister regarding the ZEP, the withdrawal of the ZEP exemptions. And those negotiations failed. That's why the exemptions were withdrawn eventually, because The negotiations that were tried, the diplomacy that was tried did not work. So the only way that would work was court action, and ZIF was one of the early organizations to sit down and say we are going to take court action. So that's where we are now. We have filed a court case that is in two parts. The first part is part A. There is also part B of the case, which is still hanging now. I will explain a little bit about part B, but part A mostly was seeking interim relief because of the lapsing of the time frames that were given by the then Minister of the Department of Home Affairs to ZDP holders, that they regularize themselves. And then the process that was in place also to regularize themselves was very difficult, and it would not work, which means that the majority of ZDP holders would have to be declared undesirable, and they would have to lose the right to equality, they would have to lose the right of their children, they would have to lose the right to judicial review, which are the three things that are very important in our case. Which is why we ended up launching part A of our case. We were seeking interim relief that ensured that ZTP holders could not be handled according to Section 29, Section 32, and Section 33 of the Immigration Act. Section 29, Section 30, and Section 32 of the Immigration Act. What that means is that ZTP holders would no longer be deported, would no longer be declared undesirable, would no longer lose their jobs because they do not have a permit in their passports that are sticking in their passports. So it's all those things, and we did get a court order on the 28th of June 2023, and that court order was to that effect. And the court order also, on top of providing us with that interim relief that was needed by every ZTP holder at the time, it also directed the minister to initiate the judicial review process. So, which is where we are now. I don't want to take too much of your time. I just want to spend about 10 minutes in this video. So, which is where we are now, where we have the Minister of the Department of Home Affairs establishing the Immigration Advisory Board that's going to oversee the judicial review process. So as ZIF, we still have also a case that is in court, and that's part B of our case. And part B of our case, part A was seeking interim relief at the time, and part B is waiting to seek permanent solution. We believe that the rights that have been accumulated by ZTP holders require that they get a permanent solution. We believe that the ZTP, the way the ZTP has been handled has made it a crisis. So we call it a ZTP crisis now. And we are working with the Department of Home Affairs. We're working also with other stakeholders to ensure that we get a permanent solution for the ZTP holders. They have accumulated children's rights. There's children that were born in this country that only know this country, and moving them away from this country means that they are going to be to learn to be accustomed to a different environment, completely different from the environment that they are in, and that is not according to the Bill of Rights, which is the rights of children. Children should be allowed to go to school. Children should be allowed to attend varsity and so on and so forth. Children should be allowed to get public health and so on and so forth. So the right to equality also for ZTP holders, because ZTP holders have been contributing to the economy of the Republic, and the majority of ZTP holders that are working formally are paying contribution to SARS, and they're paying tax. So all that requires that they also get the benefits of the tax that they pay when they go to public institutions like hospitals, public institutions like the Department of Traffic, the Departments of Transport, and so on and so forth. So those are the rights that have accumulated for ZEP holders. They should be allowed to work. If they have a job, they should be allowed to work. So that's what we are litigating for, and we believe that that's what Part B of our case is. It's about a permanent relief for the ZEP holders. It doesn't matter if it comes as we're not prescribing that to the minister. If it comes in as a permanent residence permit, or it comes in as long as it's the permanent solution, that's what we're looking for. And we believe that with the span of time, or the time that has been spent by ZEP holders in the country legally, we are at a point where those rights that have been accumulated should be made permanent. And the courts have agreed us in Part A of our case that those rights should be made permanent, and a Part B of our case is waiting for the judicial review process and to see how that judicial review process goes, and so that we can continue if there's no permanent solution that is provided by that process. So that's where we are now. And we are working with Attorney Eric Mabuza, who is our attorney on record, and we also are working with Senior Counsel Tembe Kangukai Toby, also in our litigation. They are the ones that represented us in April 2023 for the outcome that came on the 28th of June 2023, and we continue to be represented by them as we go. So there's quite a number of projects that we will be doing this year. One of them is the fundraising project. It's very important that we raise enough funds for the outstanding work that needs to be done in Part B, so that we are ready when the time arises and when the need arises. We are encouraging all ZEP holders to not move from the ZEP permit. There was quite a number of people that were pushing ZEP holders to apply for general work visa, which is governed by Section 19 of the Immigration Act. That is not what the court order says. And if you move from the general work visa legally, what that means is that you forfeit the right that you have for judicial review in the ZEP Zimbabwe exemption permit or in the exemptions that are given in Section 31 of the Immigration Act. So there's people that were, for various sinister reasons, encouraging people to move to the general work visa. We encourage ZEP holders to remain ZEP holders, so that when the judicial review process begins, then they can be consulted with. And also they can be part of the consultation process. Once you move away from Section 31, that's legally how it works. Once you move from Section 31, then you're governed differently, and there's no judicial review for you. Section 19 individualizes it individualizes your permit, and then Section 31 it groups you. Like ZEP holders, you grouped together, and decisions should be made for the group of people, not for individuals. So that's basically our advice. We can discuss about those that applied for general work visa under duress. I think we will have some certain sections that we will also be discussing that. We'll post videos where we're explaining what needs to be done for that if you applied for a general work visa under duress, and then and also the action that needs to be taken going forward. But that's so much for us this year. Let's work together with all ZEP holders. If you're a ZEP holder, this is your channel. If you're a ZEP holder, this is your organization. Like I said, ZIF was established solely for ZEP holders. We don't represent anyone else but ZEP holders. So come work with us. Come join us. There will be contact numbers in the chat. If you're a ZEP holder and you need to join us, just contact any of those numbers, and they will add you to our various groups where we discuss ZTP issues and ZTP solutions. So with that, I would like to thank you very much for visiting our channel. Let's talk again soon. We're hoping to reach out to as many ZTP holders as we can. Like I said, this organization was established by ZTP holders. The directors, the committee members, and the members are all ZTP holders, and this organization is owned by the members who are ZTP holders. So so if you want to be part of the owners of ZIF, you're welcome to join us. You're welcome to contact us on the numbers in the chat on WhatsApp. And also the last thing, subscribe to our channel if you're a ZTP holder or any other stakeholder that is important to the ZTP crisis, so that we can discuss and talk together and have these conversations together. Yeah, that's so much today. Subscribe to this channel, share, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button as well, so that you're notified every time that we post a video here. We will be commenting on the developments of the ZTP processes, and it's important that you don't miss that out. We've got quite a number of legal advisors that advise us, because we are for litigation. So we work with lawyers mostly, and we've got legal advice from quite a number of legal advisors that advise us on the course to be taken. That is how we have got to where we are now. So we will continue to do that, and we will continue to engage with those lawyers and all those legal minds to ensure that we're taking the right course to restore the rights that have been accumulated by the ZTP holders. Thank you very much. We will be in touch soon, and God bless you and have a good night. Thank you very much. Signing out. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Good night.